Hi, my name's Edward Morley. Um, Now, I don't have someone to read my interview questions, so I'm going to read them and then I'll briefly answer. So, question one is my name, and it asked me to tell about my project. Well, like I said, I'm Edward Morley, and I'm an American chemist and professor at Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. And in 1887, Albert Michelson, a colleague of mine, and we conducted an experiment to try and prove the theorized existence of something called ether. Now, what we have supposed is that ether is a medium upon which we believe that light travels, just as sound waves travel through air, or waves, ripples might cascade and travel through water channels or liquid channels. Number two, what were you guys trying to find? Well, like I said, we're trying to prove the existence of ether. So what we did is, Mr. Michelson, he had this invention. It was a device called an interferometer, and it basically consists of two mirrors that were canted at 45-degree angles, a telescope, a light, and a silver plate. And what the purpose of this apparatus was meant to accomplish was, we had the opportunity to measure extremely accurately the speed of light and its supposed variations. And the hopes of using this apparatus, as we've stated previously, is that we hope to prove that there are variations in the speed of light, and across different times of the year, different displacements and distances from the sun to the earth. This would substantiate our claim that there is ether, and that ether is the medium upon which light travels. So, where did the project or experiment occur? Well, this is actually pretty neat. It actually occurred in the basement of one of the dorms we had access to at Western Reserve University, and it took us from April to July to set it up in 1887, and that's where we did it, in the basement of one of the dormitories. Okay, then it asked, fourthly, what other significant events were happening around the world at that time? Well, there's construction starting in Paris on something called the Eiffel Tower, and President Abraham Lincoln, he was reburied along with his wife, Mary Todd, in Springfield, Illinois. And then Raoul Hodge, he patented barbed wire this year, actually. So, I mean, it's a pretty big year, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, it asks number 5, who else was involved in the project? Well, it was just me and Albert Michelson, just us. What was my role in the project? Well, I assisted Albert in measuring more and more accurate findings for the speed of light in different directions, different times of the year, and I just kind of helped him out. He, of course, like I said, we used his apparatus. We used his detection device to try and propagate the speed of light. But yeah, I assisted him. So, what impact did my project have on the physics community? Is number 7. Well, according to others, it was an unsuccessful experiment. It was, some would call it a grand failure. But I believe it was a major step in leading toward Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, and his strong assertion that the speed of light is in fact a constant. And I think that that opened up a door into a stadium full of possibilities, and we did that, myself and Albert. And don't mean to toot my own horn, but That was us. So finally, I have to ask, do I believe that ether actually exists, even though I couldn't substantiate my claim? Absolutely. Without a doubt, we do. Myself and Albert. For the rest of our lives, we'll believe that ether does in fact exist. And I'd like to note that, we don't consider that our nullified results actually disprove our theory. Even though the speed of light was never observed to vary, we didn't find it. We tried it different ways, and we looked at it different times of year, different directions, and we tried to make it vary, and it just wouldn't vary. But I don't believe, honestly, that disproves our theory. I think that we may have been ahead of our time. We may not have had the capability to disprove this, or disprove the constancy of the speed of light. Of course, Einstein comes along and, he gets all the glory. But I don't believe it's set in stone. Now, I want you to take away that I believe light waves. Myself and Albert, we believe light waves just as sound waves, just as waves, they reverberate through liquid mediums. We believe that light waves operate in wave-like travel, and what that is, again, is we believe that supports our claim that there must be a medium upon which these light waves travel. So, again, just because the science of the day hasn't validated our claim, in my opinion, it does not disprove it. So, thank you for having me. Thank you for the time you've taken to listen to this and to watch my interview. And I hope you've learned something from this. So, thanks.